Hello, everybody. Welcome to a bit of an impromptu hangout. Hello, everyone. I hope that you are having a good, whatever the day is, whatever you're doing, wherever you are, and that you can hear me and that everything is working. Just realized my hair is a bit of a mess. It's because I put my hair up this afternoon. It's all happened. It's all gone. Anyway, a couple of days ago on the main Transport Evolved channel, we had a little bit of a question that we posed, namely, what should we do in the future with the channel? What would you like us to do more of? What would you like us to produce more of? What would you like to see less of from the channel? And we came up with this this post on the main Transport Evolved YouTube channel. Obviously, this is Transport Evolved Take 2, which is the second channel. We are holding this hangout here because it tends to be a little bit more informal, and it means that we don't get people complaining about the fact that it's unscripted, because some people do complain. So we've got a couple of options, really. We can go with more reviews, more green tech, in-car stuff, and us getting out of the office a bit more, which I'd love to do. I really would. I'd love to get out of the office a little bit more. The challenge to that, obviously, at the end of the day, is time and money. With more cars coming to market, the number of reviews that we're going to be doing is going to get higher and higher and higher. I'm going to open a drink. Please excuse me. Sorry, I know that's bad form, drinking on camera. Where was I? All right, yeah. So people want to see us get out of the office more and into the real world and doing more stuff there. And in order for us to do that, then we need to have a team back at the studio. Because if there's a breaking news story, we want to cover it. That's obviously our primary function and our primary form of information. And it's the end of the day here, by the way, so I'm being a little bit informal. I've already done my main video for the day. And so, yes, that's something we really want to do, is get out of the office more and do more things. But in order to do that efficiently, we're going to have to bring in a camera person. We actually do have a camera person who's waiting to be employed by us, which is lovely. But we need to raise enough money to pay them. And so it's going to take some time to arrange. So we are going to have to essentially make sure that person can come and move to Portland, and we've got enough money to pay them regularly, and then they will be able to do stuff. Actually, Brandon 1, we'd love to hire Brandon 1 on a full-time basis. But in order to do that, we'd have to pay him a living wage. And of course, right now, there's not enough work for that. So we'd have to have someone here doing the script writing. We'd have to have someone here helping with the editing, which of course Brandon can do. We also want to expand our crew. We are expanding. Erin is hopefully going to go 3 days a week very soon, and then we'll go full-time fairly soon after that. Our goal is to get her full-time before Fully Charged Live in the UK, which is, fantastic. But again, obviously, it all costs money. We have to build money up. So I have to know, a lot of you want to go out and do more filming, and I would love to do that. Ultimately, my personal goal for this channel is for me to hand off a lot of the research and the writing to other people. I'm happy to carry on doing the presenting because I love doing the presenting. Hand off the editing to better trained, better educated people. My editing skills are a lot better than they once were. That's partly down to Brandon and other people that I've worked with over the years who've helped me hone my skills. So thank you to you if you've helped do that. But I'm not an editor. And being able to pass that off to someone else means that the videos can be done in a more efficient way. They can be done more quickly. Having Erin in the team as an animator has really helped, because she is able to help produce custom graphics when we need to explain stuff in a hurry. It's really very useful. So that is something for the end of the year. Kind of our goal in the future is to have a couple of extra people on board to be in a different location than this. But also, talking about some of the other things that people would like to see. I'm going to go through the list. More videos trying out new cars and tech in the field. Again, we want to get back into that. And a couple of people have said that you want the roundtable discussion, the Transport Evolved show, to come back. I would love for that to happen. I'm not yet sure that we would have enough viewers to watch that on a daily basis, because a lot of people don't like the rambling of the live shows. They prefer the scripted stuff, the edited stuff. And I think when people have a short attention span, it's a lot easier for them to sit down and watch stuff that is curated and edited than watch a live stream with a live roundtable discussion. And of course, when you're doing a live roundtable discussion, if you edit that, if you edit that after the point, then you risk people accusing you of not being fair, not having an editorial agenda or something else. So that is going to be a bit of a challenge. And I would love to do that. I'd love to bring that show back. But again, in order to do that, I need to bring more people on board, which means we need to make more money. And the way of doing that is to try and push our subscriber count up and to push the number of videos out that we produce on a daily basis. You will have known in the last couple of weeks, instead of doing 7 videos a week, we've been doing 7, 8, 9, 10. I think one week we did 12 videos in a week. And pushing up the number of videos we do helps get more eyeballs, which helps increase the channel's visibility. And it's my goal, we should, according to the various statistics and models that we've been looking at, we should hit 100,000 subscribers in the middle of July. And I would be super, 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 super happy if we can hit our 100,000th subscriber either just before Fully Charged Live or when we are in the UK for Fully Charged Live. And someone in the comments here has asked, Jim, are you planning to attend Fully Charged Live in Texas as well as return to the UK for the second event? I am indeed hoping to go to Texas for Fully Charged Live USA. We have not planned that yet. We have had quite an expensive year so far. We've had, obviously CES cost us a lot of money to do. We had a great fun and it's very useful for us as a business because you got to make some new contacts. We got to talk to people that we wouldn't have otherwise talked to. But obviously in order to get that all back, in order to get the return on the investment, it's a bit of a long burn. Michael says, I like the concise scripted bits, as do I. I think it shows me in a better light than me just rambling like this. But obviously this right now is a hangout to have people to talk to ask questions. So I'm going to go through some of the other suggestions that people have had. And you tell me what you think. Love Jazz said, I would like to see more on car videos and reviews if you're going to do more than that you've done. One thing I do like to see on car channels is the cars and not just people talking about them, which is true. We like to get more people. We like to get more B-roll. I would like to get more B-roll. Goodness, it's late in the day. I would like to get more B-roll for the channel. I would like to be able to send someone out on a regular basis to capture B-roll of all of these vehicles. And in order to do that, again, we need to have a full-time crew. If we're doing a review of a car, ideally what we should do when we're producing a review, car companies tend to give you a car for a week at a time. So you'll get the car on loan for a week. If I can send the car out with a camera crew for 2 days so they can capture footage for a couple of days, and then we write the review, we script the review. I don't actually script my reviews right now. I kind of put down talking points. Obviously, if I was to script the review and then I'd have to remember the script and then film it to camera, and it would feel a bit fake. I know that's what some big TV companies do, but we're not a big TV company and we don't want to be in that context anyway. A series on EV production would be great, comparing each on a level playing field and not just those in North America. There's also a lot happening in China and India, but it would be great to see more of what the world has in terms of EVs. Also interested in other modes of transport, such as bicycles, public transit systems, and motorcycles. Well, you'll be pleased to know, Mark, we are actually in the process of, I'm going to be cycling to work every day for a month and on an electric bicycle. Now, I currently live, it's about a 23-mile round trip, maybe a 30-mile round trip, actually. probably about 30-mile round trip from my current house to the office and then back home again. And I'm going to be using an electric bicycle, which we've got on loan for a month. Thanks to Rad Power Bicycles for that. And we're going to be working with them and doing a review and seeing if I can ditch my car completely for a month, at least in terms of commuting. We'll work out the rules of the engagement, so to speak, and we'll probably put that on this channel, the kind of daily vlogs, and then we'll put the main stuff on the main channel, and you'll get a good idea of what it's like to ride to work rather than to drive. Spring is on the way. Hopefully the snow will have disappeared. There's some snow forecast, I think, in a week or so's time. Hopefully that will have disappeared by the time the bicycle arrives, and we can go from there. My only concern at the moment is that I get up at 5 o'clock every morning, and I'm normally in the office by 7. So in order for this to all work, I would have to leave probably about 6:15 in the morning, and it might still be dark. In fact, it will be dark for a couple of months, so I've got to make sure I stay safe on the road. I used to cycle 50 miles a day, so I'm no stranger to bicycles. I'm just a bit unfit and out of shape, and hopefully I can get back in the saddle quite literally in that time. Yes, you ride halfway to work, you do. And you asked earlier on about my arm. My arm is feeling okay right now. For those of you who've asked, I've done something to this arm. I've got some muscle tension here in this forearm, and it's meant that it's been really painful today. I've not been able to get my scripts written as quickly as I would otherwise do. I did try using dictation earlier on, and that didn't work. So a bit of there. Tom would like to see practical advice on how to transition to an electric vehicle cheaply. He would like to understand more about battery degradation, since I'll never be able to afford a new car. So I'm looking at older used EVs coming out of their warranty period. Info on degradation patterns over time. Is it consistent? Does it accelerate or bottom out? What kind of usage charging practices can help or accelerate where? How degradation varies between different modules, battery tech, what's the chance of a total battery failure, or are we just looking at diminishing range? That's a great topic for a video, and I would love to do something on that, Tom. So we're going to put that in, and yes, we do need to ride bikes together still. Have you tried electric motorcycles and electric scooters? Now, it's a really interesting question there, Jose. Sorry, I am a biker. I don't know if you know that. I used to ride motorcycles back in Europe. I haven't owned a motorcycle while I've been in the United States, but I still have all my motorcycle gear, and I cannot wait to get on an electric motorcycle. My wife is very reticent to let me back on a bike, but for the purposes of reviewing a motorcycle, sure, I'm more than happy to jump back on 2 wheels. And I've been waiting for the Energy Kit SA9 for over a year now. So I'm going to have to bug them again and say, hey, you promised me this bike, we arranged it, we had to reschedule, and we never actually rescheduled. So I'm hoping that we will get that motorcycle to review at some point. I'm in touch with Lightning Motorcycles, hoping I can get a hold of one of theirs, and Zero as well. I'm hoping to get one of theirs. The challenge with motorcycles is that, unlike car companies where they have a local car company, they'll have in US certainly, they will have a local press fleet that's managed by a particular company. That's not the case with motorcycles, and kind of trying to get a motorcycle on review can sometimes be a bit complicated, especially if you live outside of the San Francisco Bay Area, where a lot of these electric motorcycles live. All right, Kia Soul EV 2019, 450 kilometers and range launched, or Hyundai Kona electric launching next year probably. Which is better? The first time companies are launching actual cars instead of promises in India. Good question. Now, I mean, I haven't really spent any time in either vehicle. I do have I have requested the Kona on review, and I've also notified the company that deals with the local fleets that yes, I'd love to have an e-Niro. That's another person I need to email, because the conversations went dead a couple of weeks ago. So I need to ping them and go, hey, have you forgotten about me? Let's get this car organized. So yeah, I mean, I think probably for India, I would lean towards the Soul, just because it comes across as a little bit more of a robust car in terms, and a little less fancy. I think it would be a little more robust. I might be wrong. But I'm really excited because I'm hopefully coming to India this year, a guest of a car company who has invited us over. Again, I've had really bad luck this year organizing stuff because we were invited out in January when we were still at CES. We were invited out. We said yes. We were then in the process of arranging how we were going to get stuff done. And from that point onwards, well, we still haven't been able to get a date. They had to push us back because of something to do with their factory. And it's taken longer than it should have done. But I'm kind of glad because I've now got my American citizenship. My American passport is going to be arriving shortly. And obviously that's then going to make things easier getting visas and stuff. All right. So Waskar Suero would like to see more information on cheaper models. Tesla's not for everyone. You're totally right. My goal is to try and bring kind of as many different streams of vehicles in as well. I'd also thought about doing some videos on some lesser known vehicles. So if you have any ideas of lesser known, cleaner, greener, safer, smarter tech and vehicles that you'd like us to cover, let us know. More coverage on EV conversions, please. Also collaborations with channels like Rich Rebuilds. I'd love to do a collaboration with more channels. Sometimes collaborations don't happen. Some YouTubers don't want to collaborate. I know, for example, that Bjorn Nyland is not interested in collaborating with anybody. At least he certainly wasn't in the past, because we talked to him about it, and I know he wasn't interested. I haven't had a chance to chat with Rich, and I should. Someone needs to introduce us. But I would love to do something like that, focusing on car tech and DIY stuff, because I think it's really important. Not everybody is going to want a brand new vehicle. I want to know more about converting conventional cars to hybrid or full electric. It doesn't make sense to replace my current ICE car financially. Since it's reliable, it would take 8 years or so to make up the difference in fuel savings. I would also like an episode evaluating which year each new car model becomes affordable, factoring battery degradation and depreciation from a monthly perspective on a loan. Wow, these are great ideas. Finally, I'd like to see evaluations on the reliability of EVs that have been out for a few years to factor in a purchase decision. Again, great ideas, great comments, and I think this is something that we'd love to see more of on the channel. So far, everyone has come up with comments that I would love to accommodate in the future. I want to see how ultra caps fare in EVs. I want to see graphene electric motors and high voltage cables. I want to see carbon nanotode body DVs. So I think Brian is telling me what he wants to see. He wants to see from the industry rather than what he wants to see from the channel. Brian, if that's not the case, obviously get in touch and tell me. Better coverage of other electric hybrid mining modes of transportation like boats, planes, etc., says Dean. Yeah, definitely. Again, this is something we want to do. It requires us to get out of the studio more often. Up to this point, a lot of the stuff that we've covered is stuff we've covered because there's been B-roll available. Sometimes that we haven't been able to. Because we haven't been able to get out of the studio. When we are able to travel more, then yes, we'll be able to do more focus on some of those other things. I'd love to do like a road trip every year and just go to a certain place and cover some stuff. QA Library, hi, Nikki Dan says hi. Dan from Fully Charged, I assume. And yes, his car is very, very nice. It is. He has a Kona electric. Longer videos, says R. Bramble. We can do longer videos. That's not a problem. More discussions about EV conversions and conversion companies. You got it. Any of the following: vintage classic car conversions, electric boats, planes, motorbikes, latest in batteries, solar PV efficiency breakthroughs, maybe look into other alternative transport, e.g. compressed air. The other thing that I haven't asked is there anybody else you'd like to see on our channel? Any other YouTubers you'd like to see us invite onto the channel to maybe collaborate with or you know, get them to contribute regularly to our channel? If you've got any ideas, let me know. E-bikes and electric motorbikes, again, we've got those. More material filmed on location, you've got it. Again, this all comes down to us being able to afford to get out of the studio. And I think sometimes people, I don't think people necessarily always, I don't think necessarily people always appreciate what's involved with getting people out into the studio. If you work to produce a video and someone is hiring you to come and film a video, then you are being paid and you have to get that money. You have to pay that person money to do the thing. You also need to pay for equipment unless that person's using their own equipment, in which case you normally end up paying them more. You have to pay to transport yourself and your crew to wherever it is you're going. You have to film. And then obviously you have to come back and edit it all up. So while it's very easy to do like these one-shot jobs, we could do a lot of one-shot stuff out in the countryside, and it would involve me kind of holding the camera like this and talking to the camera, which is kind of not our style. Some YouTubers have done that very successfully. We seem to do better when we've got a crew and we've got people who we can hand the filming off to. You go film that. I'll stand in front of the camera and say something stupid, and we'll go from there. Generally, that is what works. How is the arm? I found frozen peas work good, but do not eat them after they're taken out of the freezer. Invite Scotty the mechanic. Who is Scotty the mechanic? Is this somebody I should know? Tell me. That would be fun. All right. I could use an episode comparing various incentives that states around the world use to promote or not the proliferation of EV cars, and which states have announced plans for making ICE cars illegal to sell and drive by which year. Great, that would be cool. Given that EVs are revolving quickly, a regular update on the emerging battery and autonomy would be good. Again, that's a really great idea. I'd love to see more. More material filmed on location, we already had that. Investment possibilities. That would be an interesting one. Could you do a video explaining Tesla's neural network? I could look into that. I like seeing cars in Europe and how communities all over the world are trying to make less pollution. Great idea. I would love to do that. Somebody is saying I'm gonna read Randall's comment, because Randall says, like it or not, you're something of an authority. While you should remain humble, asking lowers your pedestal. I completely disagree with that. So I'm essentially a broadcaster, but I'm a broadcaster who is making content that my audience are going to consume. And if I make content that my audience doesn't want to consume, then I don't make as much money. Excuse me. So it's in my best interests to ask people, what do you want us to make? What content do you want us to do? And that means that more people will watch our channel. So boats, evolution in India, China, USA, and Europe. Again, that's cool. I'd like to film conversions, but not only factory new cars. Yes, I would love to do some more of those. More road tests, alternative EVs, and home integration options. Kind of here for you more than just the transport stuff. Maybe you could move towards just maybe beyond transport and into tangentially related fields. Interestingly, James May and Richard Hammond of Top Gear are certainly known for cars that most of us know that their fans over the years usually tune in even when they're narrating historical documentaries, science shows, etc. Well, it's interesting you say that, because I do have a second channel, third channel, whatever you want to call it, that I am determined to bring out a little bit more this year. It's going to focus on more of a bit of everything, and it already exists. That channel is called The Whole Enchilada. I couldn't remember what it was called. It's called The Whole Enchilada, and that channel is 100% me. All the things, all the little projects that I'm going to be working on. I'm going to let you into a little secret right now. We are looking at the moment, my partner and I are looking into buying a house, and we have literally we are in the process of we actually going to that house tomorrow, and I'm looking for the window that I just minimized. Sorry. We are going to a house viewing tomorrow, second viewing for a house, and it's in the country, and it's about 20 miles out of Portland. Wow, I said about. I really had a very Norfolkian moment there. That was a little bit of my home accent coming out there. Weird. About. It's the out sound that it's very Norfolk. Anyway, my accent gets more Norfolk as I get tired, so I must be getting tired. Anyway, I digress. We are going to be looking at buying a house out in the country, and so there will be some things that will be filming. I might film, I might get involved with that, little projects about the house that we might get involved in, for example, rural internet and things like that. But I also have to acknowledge that my partner is not a YouTuber. My partner and my family are not YouTubers. They like their privacy. And so I have to be really careful about, you know, that balance between having an online existence, which I am very comfortable with, versus having my whole family online, which I would definitely not be happy with. So I do want to do more stuff outside of the Transport Evolved world, and I will be doing that on a separate channel. But bear in mind, that some of that stuff is going to be quite restrictive as to what I can and can't do. All right. Let's see some of these videos here. Given that EVs are evolving quickly, a regular update, we saw that one. He has 1.8 million subs on YouTube, and he's not an EV fan, does not like the high voltage. I don't know who that is. Scotty the Mechanic. Oh, right, okay, right. I don't need any expansion, as I'm already battling with the time spent watching channels like that. I would much rather prefer more focus on the core and elimination of the unnecessary explanations, diversion into GLBT, ALS, personal, redundant, etc. No longer videos, please. Keep it well below 10 minutes. All right, so I understand where you're coming from, and I think this is great. I think moving forwards, Transport Evolved is going to do some short videos and some long videos. It's just what we've done so far. I understand not everybody wants to watch a 20-minute video. I don't always want to watch a 20-minute video. In fact, I very often don't watch 20-minute videos. But it's a fine line. You know, if a video warrants 20 minutes because it's a car review, I will give it a 20-minute review. For example, Transport Evolved News. We pack in, on average, between 25 and 27 stories every week. And we do that in somewhere between 12 and 14 minutes. If we squeeze that anymore to make it under 10 minutes, we lose stories. And the response that we've got from people since we started adding TEN shorts to the stories has generally been really positive. The purpose behind shorts is literally a paragraph or 2 sentences about a news story that we go, hey, there was this news story, you might want to go and read it, and it directs people to the original story in the show notes. And that seems to have really got people engaged and happy about being able to explore more stories that we would otherwise not cover. And the problem is if we just try and cover like 4 or 5 main stories and keep it under a certain length, then we miss out. And people then get upset because you don't cover certain amounts of stories. So I quite like the current TEN format. If you don't like the longer form videos, it is totally okay just to watch the News Roundup show on a Saturday. I'm not going to be offended if you don't watch the middle of the week stuff. But I hear what you're saying about, you know, other stuff. And one of the reasons why Transport Evolved Take 2 exists, this is Transport Evolved Take 2. If you're watching this stream right now, you're not watching it on the main Transport Evolved channel. You're watching it on Take 2. Take 2 is the unofficial, behind the scenes, less formal version of Transport Evolved. And we made that split for a reason. Now, yes, I know I talked about ALS on Saturday. A lot of people asked what the t-shirt was about. And so I felt that it made sense to mention that's what it was. I tried to keep it short, and frankly, I'd do it again. Again, people have been asking me, you know, talking about my dress, my hairstyle, and other things. And frankly, that feels to me a little bit like it's gone over a line. I understand that people pay to watch the channel. If they're paying through Patreon, watching the YouTube videos, they're watching ads. And yes, I am beholden to my audience. But if I followed everything that every single person said to me, I'd never make any content because I'd be in a corner quivering, worrying about upsetting one person or upsetting another. And there comes a point where I have to feel comfortable about who I am, and who I am does inform the channel as well. So, you know, if occasionally I am going to jump into hey, I'm wearing this t-shirt because, or mentioning something else that I do. Someone says, Transport Evolved, take two less formal with more sirens. Did you hear that siren? I'm using this microphone. I'm surprised that this microphone picked it up. This microphone. Maybe it's not that microphone. I don't know. Anyway, where was I? So, you know, if I wear what everybody wants me to wear, then I have issues, you know. Then we go from there. If you don't wear a t-shirt that is unrelated to the content, there is no need for question. Well, you know what? I did that. I used to wear a white t-shirt and the blazer. And it still wasn't enough for people. So now the t-shirt adds a bit of flair, a bit of uniqueness, a bit of me to the videos. And generally, while I have had some people say they don't like it, most people do like it. I'm wearing a TE t-shirt today. Underneath this hoodie, I'm wearing a TE t-shirt. And eventually Erin will be making more t-shirts and we'll get more t-shirts out. But if I wear the same t-shirt again and again and again, and I don't ever change the t-shirt, again, people get upset. They say, why are you wearing the same t-shirt all the time? Don't you have any other clothes? So I'm asking everybody, when it certainly comes to the wardrobe, to understand that, you know, I don't have a whole second wardrobe of clothes that I wear just online. These are clothes that I wear. And while I understand that some t-shirts people don't like and some people do, honestly, I hope that what I have to say is more important than the t-shirt that I'm wearing. In the case of the ALS t-shirt, yes, I did bring it up. And I brought it up because I had lots of questions about it. And when someone says something negative, normally often from a point of ignorance, by me turning around and explaining it, I've actually then had people come out and go, wow, I'm really glad you told me that because I didn't understand what was going on. I wasn't sure what was happening. So I do take on board what you're saying. I value your input. And maybe there's somewhere in the middle that we can meet with this. Because if it's just a plain t-shirt, people complain. I can tell you that for nothing. Most people like the nerdy, geeky side of t-shirts. So we are working on that. More news and less one-subject videos. Again, the one-subject videos people say they like because they delve in deeper. And one of the things that we've done as a channel that a lot of people haven't done is we do drill down. We do try and get to the bottom of a subject and explain it in a way that everyone can understand. So that's definitely, we go from there. A debate with Now You Know. I would love to do that. I would think that would be great. All forms of green transportation, you got it. I think that's great. The progress on the Tesla Gigafactory 3 in Shanghai, the Model Y and pickup. Well, you know, I can only report on what I know. I'm not going to get, Elon's not going to just let me on the, you know, let me go and tour the factory. I don't own a Tesla. I don't have the Tesla privilege. And Tesla doesn't talk to me. So I can't do something that I can't get to. And, you know, I don't know if you heard, but last time I was anywhere near the Tesla Gigafactory, the police came to talk to me, which was very interesting. Other renewable energy tech news that would presumably charge the EVs would be great. All right, and one other person said, casual agent says, sexy, well-dressed presenters. Keep the accent, though. I'm not entirely sure, it sounds like you want British bimbos at the most base level. And my response to that is, look, I am who I am. I know I'm a little bit on the large side. I have dealt with my own body image for a really long time. And it's something I still struggle with, my own body image. And I could, you know, list a whole host of excuses as to why I look and dress the way I do. that have got to do with what has happened in my personal life over the last decade, and the amount of stress and trauma that I have been subjected to, and all of the strains and stresses in my personal life. But I don't necessarily want to bring those into this channel. And yeah, in an ideal world, I'd have time to go to the gym every day. I'd be able to work out a bit more. I used to cycle 50 miles a day. I want to get back to doing that. But for the past 10 years, because of my duty as a parent, because of my duty as a carer, I've not had a whole lot of spare time. This has been my work life has been here, and my home life has been my home life. And if you've watched this channel for any length of time, you'll know that until about a year and a half ago, Transport Evolved's content was very sporadic because it was being controlled or influenced by what was going on in my personal life. And so we are growing, we are improving. I'm sorry that I'm a 39, 40-year-old middle-aged, slightly overweight woman from the UK. What can I say? But also, I fall back on the topic of, if you're here for tits and ass, as we would say in the UK, you're probably not in the channel. You're not probably here for the right reason. If you need to have somebody present facts and news to you in a way, let me rephrase that. If you have to have news, information imparted to you by somebody in high heels and a short skirt, then that says more about you than it does about me. And I think I probably want to just leave that there. All right, let's go. Technically, I don't care what you wear. I just want to hear the core articles about EVs and renewable energy. And generally, we try not to. On the main channel, I try very hard not to divert. And if I do, it's normally a good reason for it. The only videos that really divert are generally the Sunday ones. And maybe that's something else. Do we say we want to move the Sunday videos to this channel? Because we can do that. But the challenge is, we have to make content on a daily basis. Otherwise, we lose money. YouTube is a really cold, hard mistress, and we have to keep pushing the content out on a regular basis. Oh, there's some more comments on this. So let's read some more comments. Trucks, field research. You less crying. I don't know. I don't think I've ever cried on this channel, Gavin. So screw you. The trucks, and more trucks. Wobbles. I don't understand what wobbles means. Who is pushing? All right, let's talk about content on YouTube. This is not the channel for TNA, Tesla, and autopilot. All right, so somebody is asking, what pushes Transport Evolved to have content every day? And it's really quite simple. The YouTube algorithms reward people who produce. It doesn't look like you have an app named YouTube on your Apple Watch. Shut up. That was funny. It's live. My Apple Watch is getting stuff. So where was I? Right, content. Producing content every day for Transport Evolved is a really important way that we are growing the channel. So when we switched from doing 5 videos a week to 7+ videos a week, our viewer subscription and monetization stats all went skyward. What we used to see was we'd make a video, like our Friday video, we'd put our Friday video out, and then Saturday we'd have a video. It would go up a little bit because we tend to release late on a Friday, so we'd get a little bit of a peak on Saturday, and then it would tank on Sunday, it would tank on Monday, and it would be Tuesday, sometimes even Wednesday before our viewer numbers went back up. And if your videos are not getting viewed every day, if your channel is not getting regular hits every day, then YouTube and the advertisers don't want to advertise on your channel. They like advertising on channels that produce content on a daily basis. So for us to produce daily content actually really helps us. It also helps with the audience because a lot of people like having content from us every day. So that's really where it goes. So it's just the algorithms. Yeah, I mean, we're a bit of a slave to the algorithms but everybody is. Every YouTuber is who produces stuff. Are we getting any videos demonetized by YouTube? Not anymore. I think we had one a couple of weeks ago because I said the word CONTR. I'm not going to say the rest of it. If I say that word in a stream, even a live stream, it will immediately get demonetized and I'll have to manually request. And it just takes forever. So that's a bit of a challenge. So that's where we're going. That's some of the things that people want us to do. I really enjoyed talking to you guys about some of the things that you'd like to see from this channel moving forwards. And my goal is that we can all work together to just improve the content and get everything out the door and make this channel better and stronger. I don't know if you have all watched this channel before. I know some of you have. One of our goals here at Transport Evolved is to get this channel, Transport Evolved Take 2, up to a viewer level where we can actually start monetizing the videos there. So, so that's one of our goals. And Sneaky Linux says, hi, Nikki. When are you going to do more two-wheeled stuff for peeps like me? If you're talking motorbikes, we're hoping to do more motorbike stuff. But again, it is a challenge for us. Because we are a channel, because we are producing content on a daily basis, because we can't just magic bikes to ride or cars to drive. We have to go out and chase these things. It's hard work. We have to chase to get the cars, to get the bikes. And so I can only review things that I can actually get somewhere with a company to revise, to review. Sometimes we end up driving reader or viewer cars like we did with the Model 3. That's how we did our Model 3 review. And thank you very much to Chris for that. It was a local Tesla owner called Chris who helped us out with that. And the same with motorbikes. You know, we are trying to get the new Zero, the new Lightning Bolt, Lightning Strike when it comes out. We're also going to try, and we've been waiting to ride the Energica SA9 for over a year. We were promised it last year. We arranged it for March, April last year, and then we had to cancel it because something happened that meant I personally couldn't ride the bike. And we were promised that we'd reschedule it, and that never happened. So I keep reaching out to them, and there's only so much knocking on the door I can do without kind of being a real dick about it. And I don't like being dicks to car companies and motorcycle companies or companies in general, because that doesn't do us any good, right? But we are going to be doing a bicycle. We're going to do a bicycle collab that is just literally, I got word on Friday that it's happening. So that's going to start in about a week's time. So that's cool. It's funny how many ICE cars, adverts, etc. we get watching your channel. You know, I know. I have no control over those adverts, by the way. So it's interesting. Jeff says, I check your channels at least twice daily. I look forward to every video. Thank you, Jeff. That's very kind of you. I'm very glad that you like that. So the other thing that obviously we can do more of is more content, more Transport Evolved swag. We do have some plans for some shop stuff. I've got the one with the Tesla, 1.21 gigawatts. The Tesla Powerwall one. Someone got really upset with me the other day and said it's gigawatts, and I'm like, it's a homage to Back to the Future, dear. He says gigawatts in the film, so that's why I say gigawatts. I know it's gigawatts in the real world, but it wouldn't be so funny if we just said gigawatts, right? Just wouldn't be so funny. Anyway, I think that's pretty much it for today. Please subscribe to this channel. Go watch some of the other nonsense on this channel. We're going to be doing a couple of videos I think are probably coming straight to this channel in the next couple of weeks. And our goal is to just do more hangouts, to produce more content, do more live stuff, and listen to you guys and make you guys feel even more part of the community that is Transport Evolved, because we love our viewers. We love hearing from everybody. And yes, occasionally we get some very strange comments on the channel, but so does every other YouTube channel out there. So thank you very much for taking part. I am going to call it a day now because I'm going to go and look at a house tomorrow, and I've got to do some research into a couple of things for the house hunting. So thanks for watching. Be kind to one another and all of those other things. Keep evolving.